What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Today we're focusing on the curse of Alexandre Daigle. Daigle, whatever the pronunciation is this week. Anytime there's a high-scoring kid out of the CHL, there's always that Izzy Dig, or any projected number one pick. Most of them come out of the CHL, almost all of them. But you look at the bigger picture. Anyone that's followed the power play for a while knows I have an obsession with the NHL draft. Not just the NHL draft. I'm the same way with the NFL draft. I love watching Mel Kiper. Back before he was on ESPN, he used to publish a book. I used to love reading that for a couple months, seeing what he had to say about some of the best college football players going into that draft. And it always perplexed me, going back to Dig, how is he the first overall pick and Chris Pronger goes number two? Chris Pronger being one of the great players of the last 20 years. In the NFL draft, how is Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf's draft here. Peyton Manning is one of the greatest of all time. Ryan Leaf is one of the worst players to ever play in the NFL. How does Tom Brady last the 199th pick? By the way, I'm grateful for that. As a New England Patriots fan, University of Belichick, really grateful for that one. But, how is a guy like that a late round pick? And, you got guys like, French Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell. Where do the mistakes happen? How many cautionary tales are there going in every draft? And this is the thing with Dig. Now, when Tavares was coming up, his draft year, 08-09, Hedman was breathing down his neck for a while. Duchesne was breathing down his neck for a while, but he had had that whole build-up going into his draft year, and he was great. I mean, and he is great. He's a phenomenal player, an MVP candidate, But at the same time, going into that draft year, I'm like, Jesus, it's been a while since we've had a big bust out of the CHL. Is this going to happen with, this kid? And obviously that has been the case. But, I think the thing now is with Connor McDavid, is that going to be a thing? I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen McDavid play in person. I went out to Erie specifically to watch this young man play, and I can tell you one thing, he is the real deal. Not only on the ice, within a hockey IQ that is beyond most guys in the NHL, and a physical talent that's like I've ever seen, but off the ice. He conducts himself in a manner in which that, this is a nice kid. Talking to him was one of the highlights of my, the hockey side of my life here. Just being able to spend 90 seconds shooting the breeze with him. He's the polar opposite of what Dig was supposedly was, where he was, an arrogant asshole, and, I'm the best ever. McDavid's nothing like that. I'm going to tell you right now, from my limited dealings with him one-on-one, could not be further from that. So he's got that going for him. Common won't bite him in the ass either way. Oh, what did Dig say? They were on a flight, and he made a joke about a bomb, and Bill Clinton happened to be at the airport. Back when Bill Clinton was president of the United States, like, really? How stupid you gotta be, dipshit? But you catch my drift with Dig, and it looms over the draft. Every number one pick, and you look at guys. Even Eric Johnson. I've said it many, many, many times on the show. The worst thing to ever happen to Eric Johnson was that he went number one in the draft. I mean, had he not been the number one pick, I think he would have gone down as a really good player, really, really good player. But the fact he went ahead of Taves, Backstrom, Phil Kessel, guys like Jesus, how did this guy slip like that? And you look at the guys, recent years obviously. Patrick Kane, Steven Stamkos, the aforementioned John Tavares, all phenomenal hockey players. But going a step further, Taylor Hall still got a lot of the three guys in Edmonton. All right, you can write them off as work in progress, considering it's not their fault they got drafted in the dumpster fire they ended up at. But likewise, Aaron Ekblad's doing some huge things in Florida. Nathan McKinnon is the real deal. He's gonna be a phenomenal player. But it's been a long time since we've had a legitimate, oh my God, this guy sucks. He's a bust. Let's go back to what? Rick DiPietro, Patrick Stepan, excuse me. Throw Derek Stepan under the bus. Back in 99 and 2000 to say a legitimate bust. Just looking at, there's a run there. Hammerlick, Dig, Jovo Kopp, Jovanovski, Barad, Phillips. It's a really rough. And not that, Jovanovski and Phillips are, both, Jovo just retired. Phillips obviously still playing it, and Broad won the Calder, and I think would have been great had he not had the eye injury. But still, it's a scary thought. So, again, I just think it's an interesting thing. The presence of Alex Daigle, and did it ruin it for other players? Anyway, that's like an episode of the Power Play with CJ on my thoughts on 20 years later, 22 years later, Alex Daigle and the NHL draft. Stay tuned for more episodes for the season and beyond. Later, guys.